Hi guys, right, I'm back. Last video, concussion, quite popular, quite pleased about that. Thought I'd give you guys another one. So I'm going to try and make Thor from Series 8. And I've gone for the Series 8 one, because it's got nice right angles, which makes it a lot easier to make. And 2, out of all the robots that I've seen in the reboot so far, that one had the most personality for me. Not like necessarily the team as a whole, but that actual robot. It was just the way it was very dogged. It kept going, even when it was beaten up. It was just like, and it was really fast. And I don't know. I really liked the Series 8 Thor, so I'm going to give that a go. Last one, like I say, concussion was a little bit on the sluggish and side, so I've gone for. I'm now using one of these on recommendation, which is a Hexbug mouse toy thing for your cat. But it's a bit more powerful than the skateboard, so hopefully even when I put a bit of weight on it, it should still be able to go reasonably fast, reasonably manoeuvrable, which obviously is more like the real life Thor. I'm also going to be using these, hopefully, to make the body work. So it's actual metal. Hopefully it won't dent too easily. It's like, it looks a bit tougher than like Kit Kat foil or whatever. Just because I think it just had a very metallic kind of homemade look to it, which I loved. And if I paint this up red without any primer, hopefully that'll the paint will scratch off and it'll look kind of cool. I don't know. It's just an experiment. Let's see how it goes. So step one, I tried to get the bottom off the mouse, but it didn't work. So I seem to have created the Terminator bit in mouse form. This is a bit of a disturbing scene. I had to pull the tail off. It was all very weird. So I'm not going to film any more of this because it's all just a bit too disturbing. Okay, in hindsight, the screws did actually come out the bottom, so that whole horror show was for no reason. I'm really sorry, little mouse. Okay, right, so I've got my mouse, and that's good to go. I'm going to try and make the axe remote control, in which case I've got one of the skateboards again, and I'm going to try and attach an axe sort of mechanism-y thing to the wheels, mount this upside down, and a bit awkward. I'll have two remotes, like maybe I'll take one to the back or whatever of the other one, but hopefully it should be able to go around and then just fire the axe. So that's the plan, and then just build the body around that. So I've now fitted cable ties around the wheels. The rubber is sort of gripping on. I was thinking I was going to have to glue, but that doesn't look too bad. So now I've got a good mounting point here to put something across here and then attach my little axe shaft. Okay, so I've run into a weird problem. So the little skateboard motors that I use, to actually switch them on, you've got to run them back and forward a few times, and that involves going more than one revolution. So my plan was to mount the axe mechanism on both wheels, so that they'd be nice and sturdy. You could put double the power into it essentially, but one of the wheels needs to be free so that I can actually switch it on. So I need to almost run something through it or something. Because otherwise I won't be able to switch the axe on, which is a weird problem, but yeah, that's just the solution to it, sadly. So choosing a scale, I'm kind of left to my own devices. I'm going to use this as an axe shaft, so I'm just going to build it around that sort of scale. So there we go, got the axe shaft there. So I don't want it quite as big as the concussion one, because that got a bit bigger than I intended. So yeah, I'm kind of given free rein here. I'm going to do a rough outline here and then transfer it to the metal trays. So I've got my base. I've designed it hopefully so it should just sort of slip over the top of here on this little lip all the way around it. Whee, look at that! And then I can just glue it under here and happy days. Look at that. So this is the axe shaft, and I'm just making a little slot down the middle so I can put in my little cardboard axe head. So here we have the little axe head. Look at that, good to go. Okay, right, so currently I've got my base with my mouse motor in it. I've got a little support here just so I'm not sticking this directly to some circuitry. So yeah, I've got this axe motor, a little bit of Lego there, classic, to support the back. And a little bit of Lego as a sort of mounting for the axe. Just starting the body work now. It's actually proving a lot more of a complicated design than it actually looks, Thor. So I'm just mapping out, I don't know if you can see there, like a sort of net on the foil tray. So the body work is basically all together now. It needs a little bit of neatening up, so I'm just going to start painting it. So I'm done, and here it is. I am really chuffed with the way this turned out. I think, as always, there is pros and cons of it. I'm really pleased with just the general look of it. I think maybe it looks even a little bit too metallic. I'm pleased with the way the axe turned out as well, the way it looks. And I've even put the little bump stop on the front there for the axe to sit on. I did drop it, which is why the back looks all buckled. Although this stuff is stronger than foil, it is still doesn't like being dropped from a height. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed about that at the back, but I tried to repair it and it was just getting worse. Like, you know, that episode of Father Ted. So yeah, now I'm going to give it a little test drive. Interesting problem that's come up. Due to the frequency of both these are actually the same frequency. I've tried doing it with different controllers, with different, different notches on here, 1 or 2. Doesn't work. So the axe and the thing are actually on the same frequency, which is kind of interesting. But you can make it work. You can sort of, it retracts and does it at the same time. So I'm still quite pleased with it. It is a little bit of a fiddle to turn on, but it was actually easier than I thought. You sort of stick a cable tie through the back and sort of give it a little wiggle back and forward, and that will start the motor. So overall, I'm really chuffed with the way this has gone. He's a little bit fragile and mangled looking around the back, but I love the way that it pivots sort of where the actual Thor pivots. The wheels are essentially the same sort of distance along the length of the robot, so it actually looks good when it's going as well. The hammer coming down as you do it is probably actually easier than doing it on a separate control. It wasn't my intention, but it sort of seems to have worked out okay. The back of it, again, where there's like the bits missing just because of the axe mechanism, that looks a bit, and I'm not too chuffed with that, but sort of needs must. And overall, I'm really pleased with the way it is. And yeah, having given it a little test run, smashed it around a bit, it stood up quite well. I'm not sure if I'd want to put it against this. And I don't want to try, to be honest, just in case. I know it's only a little blade, but on some of the larger bits of panel, maybe in the middle, it might get a good whack on there and actually dent them. But hey, it works a lot better than concussion, and I'm really pleased overall. And I'll try and do some more for you as well after this. See you later, guys.